The Covert Standard.
Shit, yeah. 3%ers right here.
You see, you just gotta elevate your lifestyle. Shit, I don't like asking for directions. I do love ass and titties, though, all day long. Whoa, what is going on, world? Thank you for tuning in on our next episode here at the Covert Standard. I'm over here chilling right now, here with a couple of my buddies. You may know them. Dave.
What's up?
And Dillon.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, Dillon's still alive. I know he's been away in a little hiatus lately, but he is back, and he is at large and not drunk and all the good stuff. So that's good. So basically,
Drunk? Wait, drunk?
Not
What are you
drunk.
talking about?
He's not drunk.
Yeah, he's not drunk.
No, that's why I said he's not drunk.
Oh.
Did you
is
think?
he usually
did I,
drunk?
no.
Quick story time though.
Ooh, story time.
When you were listening to Hefe's delicious voice, I was shivering with a massive fever on the couch.
Dude,
with 5 layers of clothes on and 3 blankets.
In Florida.
What a bitch. What a bitch.
Shut the fuck up, man. I caught the flu too, man.
So hard that shit fucked me up. I was like, I can make it. I can make it.
Oh,
Guys,
dude,
I'm like-
Grandpa, you just fucking busted. That smells so bad.
Brought to you by
what?
Dog Farts.
Like, he legitimately had to
sponsor.
do it. Like, he knew we were starting this, and he's like, I got something for you. Did you smell it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, it's,
No. But
it's
it'll
coming.
hit me.
How
It's
the
coming.
fuck did it hit you? He's like sitting right next to us.
I don't know, but it hit me, and it just, that was
The mystery of the fog.
the
Yeah.
worst I have ever smelt before. I don't know. Your dog fart. There's something wrong with his diet. I don't know what the fuck you're feeding him, but that shit smells so
No,
bad.
supposedly, like if the fart smells, you have a good diet. And that's how it goes, man.
Do you like study your own farts to see if your diet is good?
No, but I put it on my wife though. You know, you do the
Does
Dutch
she tell
oven.
you? Does she just smell it and she's like, honey?
No,
you have a
she's
really
like,
good
what
diet.
the fuck, and tries to hit me in the nuts. Like I'll fart, and I'll just like put the blankets right over us, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2019. Goodbye, 2018. What a great year. That's the year that a lot of us got started in a lot of our ventures. 2019, though, hopefully this is going to be the year. This is the make it, break it. This is going to be the best year for everybody. Hopefully it's going to be good for you, too. So I know that a lot of us from the last time we spoke, and we talked to you guys, we had, Christmas vacation, of course, New Year's and stuff. And I was actually out in California, California. And
California.
Anyway, so I went out there to go visit my family. So and then I came back from New Year's and spent it with my buddies here, which is a pretty good time. And yeah, there's so much going on out there. But anyways, Dave, what did you do for Christmas? Where were you at?
Ooh. So ended up going to the family ranch. It was fucking badass.
Dude, I love going out to the ranch, man. We need to do another ranch day. That was fucking
Definitely.
awesome last time we went.
I definitely agree. I think everybody should definitely be part of that next time that we end up going out. And not only that, it's a ranch. We actually got a gun range on there. That gun range, we can go all the way up to 500 meters, which is pretty dope. Got it sighted in, so we got decent backstop. And
Why did you guys measure it in meters?
Because he's communist.
It's just weird to hear somebody say 300 meters.
All right.
No,
I'm not saying it's
no.
wrong.
Hey, let's be serious here. They're not communists. They just come from communists. They fled Fidel Castro, all right?
They fled him.
They are
Yeah.
very rampantly anti-Fidel Castro.
Yes.
So anyway,
Or communism.
no, it's just weird to hear. Usually, I'm just so used to hearing yards that when someone says meters, it just kind of.
What are you, a
that's-
scientist?
What are you, a scientist?
Or a European?
Are you a European?
Most of the family's Hispanic, so that's how the background is. But either way, that's how it was measured.
500 meters.
500 meters.
Okay.
I think it's pretty dope. Not only that, we took the helicopters out and the planes out, which was pretty dope. And I got to fly a fucking helicopter.
Yeah, it's super
I'm
cool.
totally jelly. I'm not even gonna lie. I would love to fly a helicopter.
Dude, it's a great time. It's something that anybody that's interested in like aeronautics.
Did you co-pilot or did you lift that bitch off the ground, flew that around, and landed all in one? Like you flew it by yourself, or if you had a co-pilot but he didn't do anything?
Let's hear the story.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's what let's get the story.
I get in the fucking helicopter. We do all the pre-checks, and right after pre-checks, he has to do the takeoff. Because he's got the license. I don't. once we're in the air, he starts talking about the controls, how everything works, and he just gave me the control. I had the controls for 20 minutes, moving around. We're off the ground for. He had me do the maneuvers in the sky. He said I was doing pretty good, and he's like, "Hey, let's go to the landing strip. This is going to separate you from the boys, and hovering off 20 feet off the ground." And I'm like, "Are you sure, bro? This is like my first time." And she's like, "You got this." And I'm like, "All right." If you could see my face at that moment, it had to be priceless. I was like,
totally an audio show, Dave. Nobody can see your face right now.
But man, I was fucking nerding out. And I'm like, God damn, goes to the left, and I'm trying to react to the right. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
He took the controls. He's like, all right, we're going to do this again. Then the second time came around, I ended up doing taxiing versus hovering. And he started laughing at me. He's like, I guess we're going to taxi down the runway. He's like, no, man, you should definitely follow up with this. 20 minutes of flying a helicopter like that, fucking amazing. It's the best feeling in the world.
I mean, did you find any difficulty? Like, did you find, like, what was the most difficult thing you had to do from transitioning what you already know to this helicopter that you don't own, so you don't know the controls, obviously.
Hovering is definitely the number one thing that I wish I had a little bit more time on.
Mm-hmm.
So literally 18 minutes of flight. That's how it actually went down.
Yeah.
So in those 18 minutes, I just wish I spent it more on hovering, because I understood the concept on how to keep the ball centered and everything because of fixed wing flying. And it's really similar. Easy transition. I'm not going to lie about that. That's how I picked it up.
What kind of helicopter is this?
Fuck, I don't
like, is it
the kind with propellers
and a turbo engine?
So, like, I mean, is this like a small, like, personal helicopter? Is this more like something that you would actually take people with?
Like a 2-person?
Like, is it 2 or 4-person, or is it something that's like a cargo helicopter?
It's like a 5-person helicopter.
Okay, so
from what they told me, it was an ex-military helicopter that they transitioned.
Okay.
That the old man ended up loving when he was in, and he ended up just buying it from the government and fucking built it for his company and put all the paint schemes on it. And it's been around since, I think, 1970s.
Damn.
So
to keep a helicopter around that long is a big deal.
Fuck yeah, dude. They still keep fucking planes out that long.
That's
like
wild.
most of the students right now are flying like shit from the 70s.
Yeah.
Just in case they fuck up.
I just feel like planes are different than helicopters. Helicopter maintenance is so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's like the big deal, and not like I'm an expert in it by any means, but I paid attention to Bill Burr's podcast, and he got into flying helicopters and stuff, and was talking about how, like, you can find them used for like $17,000 because it needs $250,000 worth of maintenance done.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how it kind of is with like a lot of planes too. Like, but the most hobby plane that's fucking dope as fuck. Shit, I just drew a blank. It's like one of those Cubs. It's a Cub. That's what it is. It's a Cub plane. The big ass fucking tires. It's a fucking. It almost looks like it wants to be a biplane, but it's a tail end, landing gear and shit. Pretty dope. Those motherfuckers bounce every time they fucking land.
Right.
So, and it's like one of those cockpits that I got the pilots in the front, and then you got somebody in the back.
Okay.
So it's like those are the ones that you want to get. You can pick them up for like $14,000.
I don't know that I want to fly anything that's $14,000.
Why not, dude? It's got all the basics.
I don't even know where to begin when it comes to pricing on stuff like this. Like, I've never ever.
Do you
want
to fly in a plane that's cheaper than your vehicle?
Okay, you know what? Now that you say it like that, absolutely. I want the Honda Civic of the plane world. Let's do this right now.
I only want the 95 though. Only the 95 Civic. I don't want a 2002.
Has to be a 1995 Civic I can buy for $500. I'll fly that bitch all goddamn day long.
Tell me, wouldn't you want to be traveling at 120 miles an hour?
88 miles per hour, Marty.
I want to go into the future.
That's time travel speed. We all know this. So, I mean, sounds like you had an amazing fucking time out there. Dude, I love the ranch. I mean, last time we went out to the ranch, I know Dillon wasn't there with us. I don't think we've actually been to the ranch while we were
at the same
time.
Yeah.
But we've all been able to experience it. And I mean, that's a blessing all on its own that we have something that we can actually, go and enjoy together, which is pretty awesome. I know that last time we spoke about this before, we all brought our best friends from growing up, and I thought that was a pretty awesome time, even though I was sicker than a fucking dog. But, I mean, did you get anything crazy? Like, I know that as we get older, Christmas presents aren't really something that you talk about like we used to back in school, elementary school and stuff like that. But did you get anything that was pretty awesome?
So we want to talk about Christmas presents.
Just talk about Christmas.
I'm Jewish. No,
So
I'm
out of
kidding.
all 7 presents, which one was the best one?
No, I'm kidding. To be honest, man, never thought in 1,000 years I would be ecstatic about fucking security system.
Yeah, that's what you got.
The
That's
fucking
awesome.
wife hooked
That's
it
how
up
you know
with the
we're
fucking
old
security.
men.
Yeah, a security system that was pretty dope, and I was pretty ecstatic. And that's the number one thing that I fucking loved. Sorry.
Did you get it? Did you get it installed yet or whatever?
Yeah,
Isn't it the same
did that.
system that I got too?
Yeah, I ended up getting the same system. It's pretty dope. It's easy. It's got all the instructions and everything.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend it. Any first-time buyer type of thing that's interested in having their own system is look into doing a couple shit all by yourself. You know, you don't have to deal with the installation fee. I don't know if we want to drop the fucking product, but because we're not sponsored or anything.
No,
I mean, you
well,
teased it. You teased it real hard.
Just-
But
just-
I highly recommend it to everybody to just buy something.
You know, no, definitely. Number one, buy something. But
Yeah.
the product is Ring. I am going to talk about it. It was pretty dope.
Yeah,
Pretty dope.
the Ring system's pretty dope. But I mean, I know a lot of the hardwire systems are pretty awesome. But the reason why I like Ring is that there's a cellular backup to it,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's wireless. So it's not like it's like I was always worried that the wireless system, because it's connected to the internet, if the internet gets cut out, that you won't have an alarm system anymore. And that's
Right.
kind of what I was worried about. And
I know it's how a lot of them are.
yeah, exactly.
Good old ML. His internet would go out and he'd freak out. I got to run home, reset my internet.
Fucking miss that guy.
Yeah.
I miss that guy. He's still back at the shop, huh?
Oh, yeah. He came back.
That's dope.
So I bought a house. And
Shit.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't buy a security system, but I did buy a house.
Welcome
It's only a few
to
weeks.
the homeowner life.
Means I'm super broke.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll recover soon. You just gotta get back over that little hump.
I feel like when you buy a house, they're like, so how much money do you have?
Oh.
I feel like you're lying. We can
Yeah.
squeeze a
We
few
can
$1,000s
squeeze-
more out of
yes.
They put you under the light, and they're like, listen here.
you. So this another fee came up, and you're gonna have to pay it. I mean, there's no way around it. You're just gonna have to come up with another $7,000.
Just like that. Just like that. And you said you had it.
I mean,
Dude,
is
it
that
fluctuates so
gonna be a
much, and then like they're not like certain about what they're telling you either. Like they give you like the like a vague answer for everything. So like when I came over,
I feel like you're right that they give a vague answer, but I also feel like they give you like the lowest number possible for every answer, trying to bait you in.
so like for mine, for instance, they were like, that's not the actual closing cost. You're not going to know what and it's actually contracted. You can see it, you can
Right.
read it. And it says you're not going to know exactly what the closing costs are, and they're not required until 3 days before you actually close. So the whole 45-day process it takes to close, you don't even know how much you're actually going to pay them.
Dude, you're telling me I bank remotely, so I don't have a bank in Florida, and they would not send a wire without me going to a local branch. Well, I'm in Florida, and the closest one is Tennessee. So you're going to do this. And they're like, nope, no, we're not.
You went
So-
to Tennessee?
No, I didn't go to Tennessee, but I ended up negotiating a like overnight check that I had to do in 2 different checks that I had to spend extra $40 to get it processed. And then they're like, well, we still might not take it. Oh, it was nice. It was a nice stress-free thing. I mean, I'm sure that that's everybody's experience when they buy a house,
Yeah,
is
it's
that it's the most pleasant thing anybody can do, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, it's definitely the most pleasant and easiest thing I've ever fucking done. Actually, that's complete fucking bullshit. That's a lie.
It's a fucking.
It was
it's a-
the worst process I think I've ever been through. And I've been through a lot of different processes. I mean, like it was because there's no straightforward answer. The people that you want to talk to, you try to ask them most questions. They try to be as helpful. I mean, like my realtors were awesome.
Yeah.
Because they tried to give me as much info and they gave me like a better idea of what I needed to do. So like I'm trying to close on my house. And they were telling me, listen, you need to budget for this because it's usually around these numbers. That helped me out a lot. Because when I talked to the bank's like, oh, yeah, it says there are $26,000. And it's like, I don't have $26,000 to drop right now. But they were like, well, it's going to change by the time we get to closing, but we can't tell you until 3 days. Like, that's a ridiculous
Yeah.
process. It's like, by the way, you're going to do all this paperwork, and then you're going to know how much you're going to pay 3 days before we have to sign the contract.
Man, you guys got fucked.
yeah,
You know what my realtor said? She's like, hey, have $9,000 in the bank. Don't worry about all these other fucking numbers that are going to pop up. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. You say you got this number? We're good.
That's
I'm
what
like,
no, but
yes.
that's what my realtor. That's what I'm saying. My realtor did that for me,
Dude.
They gave me a percentage though. They said balance out between 4 to 6%. but it's not going to probably be that high, but it's safe to be around 4 to 6. They told me what I needed to know.
I had to overpay because of the whole wire thing.
Oh,
because they don't
that's
tell
right.
you for 3 days, and then I needed more time even to overnight it, to get it to them, to process it. So they're like, well, you just got to give us an extra $1,000, and then we'll just give you back whatever we were wrong.
Fucking bitch. God, I would have lost my shit, dude.
Did you just spend all your money into the house that you guys didn't really do anything crazy, or did you do anything for Christmas that was significant to you?
No, I mean, everybody family wise was kind of doing something. So I kind of told them, like, please don't get me anything big because I can't. Like, I bought a few gifts before I even started the home buying process because I was trying to knock my Christmas out early. And so I luckily had those, and then I just kind of combined them with some other people so that we kind of all got together and gave gifts. So yeah, I mean, it worked out. I was really lucky. I got a gift that I definitely wasn't expecting or deserving. It was some shooting steel, which is badass. It was a rifle, rifle shooting steel. I mean, I would consider myself very lucky for that, but I didn't really want anything. Like, I was at that point to where I couldn't really, I was broke as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I can barely afford this paint I'm buying for the house to paint it.
Hey,
so I don't have pink and purple rooms.
So my Christmas, I went out to California, as you guys know.
Yep.
All of my family, or most of my family, is in California, and I've got family all over the place. I have family back home in Virginia. I've got family out in the Philippines. I've got family in California. I've got family here in Florida, and we're just kind of spread out all over the place. And that's where I went. I went to go visit them, and I had some of the weirdest moments of my life out there, especially on the flight back home. Now, I don't know if you guys ever had to deal, and I'm sure you have, but you ever had to deal with TSA past the point of me just walking through, checking my bags, and then going through the
Never heard of them.
No, who is this TSA?
TSA?
You had a weird experience at TSA, though. What happened?
So, like, I don't know if any of you guys have, I mean, obviously when you're going through security, you check your bags, you take off your shoes, you walk through a scanner, you get your bags, and you put back on your shoes. So with that being said, that's like your normal day. I don't know if you guys ever had to go further than that. Well, so when I'm flying back from California, I had to actually go through security. Everything went just fine. I ended up going to my airplane. Once we got to the gate, we got onto the airplane, we got up in the air. I mean, everything was pretty much normal at that point.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, when we went to the airplane and got in the airplane and took off and everything, there was a weird noise on takeoff. Now, I knew it was weird because I've flown several times.
Right.
So you kind of know when something just is different, either a vibration or a sound or anything like that, especially somebody like me that I like to stay on my P's and Q's all the time. I'm usually
smelling smoke.
Yeah, I smell smoke. I'm going to call fire kind of thing. And so we get up in the air and I can hear this weird buzzing sound. It's like, and it just does not sound right. And it was every time they accelerated, I can hear it more.
Right.
When they decelerated, it kind of sounded normal. And I actually thought about this. I was like, why does that sound so weird? So of course I'm looking out of the plane, like me looking out and seeing what something is going to help anything. When you're in the air, you're fucked. I mean, right. That's pretty much it. There's
you
no
could
parachutes.
definitely see what the problem is and be like, oh, I see how we're going to die.
Yeah. Well, now I know how I'm going to die. Let me go ahead and say my piece. So I can't pick it out. I'm thinking that it's actually normal. It's just a sound that ends up happening on acceleration because I don't hear anything. The captain doesn't say anything to us. We're good. About an hour in to this flight, the captain comes on. And it's so funny because the captain comes on and he doesn't sound really alarmed.
They never do, though.
He sounds more apologetic.
Yeah.
But to the point where it's like, yeah, I fucked up. I should have told you this like 45 minutes ago. That kind of like speech.
Sure.
And he comes on the mic and he was like, so, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be alarmed or anything, but our landing gear is broken. It will not retract. So we have to fly around for a few hours to burn fuel so that way we can land safely because there is a safe weight for us to land and we are too heavy right now. So we will be ending up back in California. I do apologize for the inconvenience and we will keep going. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Landing gear's broke. I mean, obviously it's still down. We can still land the plane, but fuck, man, now you're delaying me a few hours.
Sure.
They told us that immediately as we land that we would get onto another plane and fly. So I'm thinking, okay, so 2 hours or whatever.
Why would you believe that?
Well, because they're telling me this.
By the way, as soon as you said you heard a sound, especially when you were accelerating, I thought that's exactly what it was.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the air drag you get from landing gear is like a massive difference.
Yeah, I can understand it. That's what it was. I think it was like the air and everything as well. They basically from the drag of the actual landing gear. So he ends up telling us that we're going to land back in California. I'm like, fuck, I'm delayed a few hours, whatever. He says there's going to be a plane waiting for us. We're going to get right onto the plane. And I'm like, cool, whatever. So 2 hours, that's not bad. We fly around for 2 hours, and it's like 2 hours and like 20 minutes, and he finally goes, okay, we are safe for landing. So we go back to the airport, we land, and then we have to stop on the tarmac. And like, obviously this is probably regulation, but like 5 or 6 fire trucks start racing towards us, and ambulances start racing towards us, and cop cars start racing towards us. All the ladies around me are freaking out. Like, they're like, oh my God, what's going on? They didn't hear him tell them what was going on.
Right.
And they were like, oh my God, is it safe? And like one lady asks me, like I'm the pilot. Like she looks at me literally dead in my eyes and goes, is it okay?
I just want answers.
And I'm just like, in my mind, I swear to God, there was a point at me that I wanted to be like, no, it's not.
It's like that time in Team America where the woman's like, just swear to me, you'll never die, and I'll fuck you right now.
Yeah.
I promise.
Just want
I swear I will never. I'll slow that down for her too. I'll be like, would you like this Espanol? So, but she's sitting like there's a lady in the middle seat. I'm in the aisle. I always fly in the aisle. I like to be in the aisle. There's a middle seat, and then the lady that's right next to the window is the one that turns to me, and she literally looks me in the eyes and she goes, "Is it safe?" And everything in me wanted to be like, no, it's not safe. Just because like I like humor in my life and I do shit like that. And I'm pretty cynical. I have a dark sense of humor. But no, I was like, no, everything's safe. And I'm calming everybody down. I don't know why I was calming people down. Like you didn't fucking hear the damn captain say what was wrong. But that's basically the role that I took at that moment. Anyway, we get off and we're going up to the escalator and, or not the escalator. We're going through the aisleway, and we're waiting for the next word of what's going to happen. They tell us at that moment that the flight is not going to be ready for us. Then that the plane's going to be ready, and the flight's going to be delayed till 6 a.m.
Whoa!
I've already been there since 8 p.m. This is California time. I've already been there since 8 p.m. And they said 6 a.m. It's 1:30 now, and I said, "Fuck, a few more hours." Okay. They were like, "We're going to give you guys some food vouchers, so you guys get your food, but the food courts are all closed." And so we're going to give you, like we're there's people over here to help you. You can talk to them. And, basically they're just like, we're sorry for the inconvenience. Have a nice day. Like they're not helpful at all. Right. At all. And, but it's whatever. I mean, shit happens. So I'm not the kind of person.
How bad were all those adults around you acting like children?
They're really bad. It was amazing.
I have a story for you.
There was
California.
one.
No. This is people. I got a story, but keep going.
There was one lady that actually flipped out on the guy who's behind the counter trying to do customer service about the plane landing again because she had some important things she had to do. And her husband's with her. And you know how that is. She's yelling. You try to stop her, but then she tries to bite your head off and you're just like, okay, well, just keep going. Sorry. And then you apologize for her. That's usually, how that happens. And she's she's freaking out. Well, this is not good. This is unsatisfactory, like yelling. And it's like, ma'am, listen, these are machines. Like things happened. It was a safety precaution. We landed.
Ma'am, we're sorry you're still alive.
Yeah, ma'am, we're sorry that you're still alive. So she's freaking out, and the guy's being like, he's like, I'm so sorry, that blah 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 blah. And she went on the whole night. There's more of her later. So anyway, I went up to him just to ask him for the exact information I needed to know. I didn't give a fuck because I knew shit happens. I didn't give a fuck about anything. So I went up to the counter and he was like, how can I help you, sir? And I said, I just want to know the exact information so I can prepare myself and prepare the people that are trying to pick me up from the airport and everything like that. I just want to make sure everything's okay. Is this for sure going to be at 6:00? They said yes. I said, and the arrival time, is this sure going to be 2:09? Yes. I said, that's all I want to know. And he was like, well, let me give you some food vouchers. And I said, but everything's closed. Well, you can use it in 24 hours. And I said, but everything's closed. By the time we lift off, there's nothing open.
And I'm leaving.
These aren't going to work. And he was like
6 a.m., right?
And he goes, well, sir, we apologize. This is what we can give you. And I said, so you give me something that I cannot use at all. And he was like, well, I mean, there's a coffee shop. And I was like, oh, so I can go to a coffee shop with these vouchers. You know what? Just thank you. I didn't need anything. Thank you. I took the food vouchers. And then I proceeded to think about, you know what? I want a cup of coffee. But that cup of coffee
is outside of security. Security is closed at this moment. And I talked to 4 people, the people that worked for the airport, okay, United Airlines, and one other person. And I asked them specifically, when does security open, and will we be okay to come back in security? I got yeses throughout the board, and they told me 3:30 a.m. It's 1:45 at this moment. I said, that's fine. I'll go get a cup of coffee and hang out outside security till they open. I'll come back in. No problem. Well, I leave security. After asking all the questions I needed to ask, I go back out of security. I go get that cup of coffee. It's about 3:30 a.m. And before I get back in the security line, I went back to the United desk and I asked them, is this boarding pass still going to work? And they said, yes, sir. Everybody's already accounted for. Everybody already knows what's going on. You're going to be completely fine. I go through security. I'm the first one in line. I get up to the TSA agent. TSA agent scans in my boarding pass. It shines up red. And he looks at me, and I already see the look on his face, so I decided to explain it to him what's going on. And I said, yeah, sir, I'm part of the flight that ended up landing last night because the broken landing gear. I just came back from United. They said that I can use this boarding pass again. Here's my ID. He says, I'm sorry, sir, I cannot let you through. I said, but I need to get back through. My flight's in there. Well, I can't. I don't know what to do. I said, well, I mean, there obviously has got to be something to do. He said, well, let me radio somebody. He radios up, and I can hear the radio. They were like, no, access denied. That's terminated. We cannot let them through. And I was like, what is the problem? He's like, you need to go speak to United. I went back to United, talked to the lady represented over there. She says, no, everything should be fine. She walks me up there. TSA tells her exactly what they told me. And she literally looks me in the eyes and goes, well, I guess we're just going to have to wait, and walks away. That's literally how she handled that. So I said, okay, fine, I'll wait. 30 minutes goes by.
Wait till when?
Exactly. Flight's at 6. It is now 3:00 in the morning. I'm not an impatient person. I can wait. I completely understand that things happen and I can wait. But I just got denied from them and I got denied from the other place, and neither one of them gave me any actual communication on what the matter is. There's 4 of us out there. I leave the line after 30 minutes of waiting. I said, fuck this. I'm done.
Sucker went for the voucher.
Yep, sure did.
I went for the free fucking coffee because it's already early in the morning and I'm just trying to stay awake so I can make sure that I make my next flight.
Shit. So you fucked up, AA Ron?
AA Ron, you fucked up, AA Ron. So I ended up going back to United, and I told the lady, I said, I want to speak to your supervisor. She says, no problem. I understand. Let me go find them. She comes back 20 minutes later. I can't find the supervisor. That's what she tells me. I said, well, somebody needs to handle this situation. I don't understand why you can't communicate with TSA, why TSA doesn't know what's going on, why I was allowed to leave, and I asked your guys' representatives that I can leave. I made sure that I followed every protocol that it would take for somebody to actually do something with a complete, clear understanding of how things work. I asked questions before I left. I made sure that everything was good. What the fuck is going on?
I do have a question as far as that. Did you go in a group?
No, I went by myself.
You have to be in a group.
We were in a group at this point. We're all 4. There's 4 of us outside of security. So there's a group now. Yes. So there's this one guy that was with us that I'll bring him up in a second. He was fucking funny. So I went back and forth, and finally I was like, so you can't get your head out of your ass, and you can't get your head out of your ass. So I'm just going to be stuck outside of security because there's no communication between the both of you guys. Okay, I understand. This is completely professional. Thank you. And so I ended up leaving the line. Nobody had an answer for me. So I didn't know what I was waiting for. I had to stand there and then just keep trying them until I pissed off TSA. So the other guy that was with us decides to call United, explaining them. And he was like, I guess they were asking him, like, did you talk to the supervisor? And he goes, well, ma'am, we asked for the supervisor. It's been 45 minutes and they don't seem to want to come out and play. They don't want to join us in our festivities and all the fun that we're having right now because your guys' airline is fucked up. And like literally was on the phone with them. I'm like back and forth. He starts getting a little like edgy with fucking TSA and everything. Finally, it was like, it's already been an hour and a half. Our flight's coming up soon. I start getting fucking pissed off. So I start fucking pushing my way to somewhere. I told them after I spoke to their supervisor, which I don't think he was a supervisor. I think she just pulled a coworker and said, hey, pretend you're the supervisor, because she couldn't find him. And I talked to him. He was like, oh, somebody dropped the ball last night with the whole flight and everything. And because they dropped the ball, you won't be able to get in until 5 a.m. I said, well, whoever dropped the ball needs to get fucking fired because that's fucking bullshit that I have to sit here and stand out here and you guys can't even fix this shit. You're just like, oh, we just got to wait. And then I went back into TSA's line and the lady there was like, sir, you cannot come through TSA. You need to step out. Like she starts yelling at me and I look at her and I was like, you need to calm your tits. Like I literally looked at her. I was like, you need to calm your tits and calm the fuck down. I'm not a threat to you right now. I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to make my fucking flight, and you can't seem to fucking help me, and neither can United. So somebody needs to talk to somebody higher than you and explain something over to me. Why I cannot go back through fucking security. I've already been through security 3 fucking times. This is bullshit. And they're all of a sudden like 3 or 4 TSA agents start coming out of the woodwork. And I don't give a fuck at this point. I don't care. I have 0 fucks right now because this is bullshit. Finally, I leave. I said, fuck it. I leave at 5 a.m. I'm in the line at 4:58.
Right.
5 a.m. I finally get to the front. They didn't get an answer. And I said, well, I'm here now. It's 5 a.m. I've already done everything you guys told me about 5 different times. You're going to call somebody on the radio. I am not leaving this spot. They called someone on the radio. About 2 minutes go by and they were like, oh, they're clear now. They can go through now. And I fucking went through security, bro. You don't understand, like, what the fuck? Why couldn't they just, like, I don't understand how that process went. Like how, like
none of it made sense.
None of this fucking shit made sense. Nobody gave me a clear answer. United was literally like, "Oh, sorry for your luck," and then fucking TSA was just like, "Oh, well, we can't fucking help you either." And neither one of them could talk to one of their supervisors to get this shit fucking handled. Like it seems like it would have been like a
pretty easy.
Hold on a second, let me call over there. Brrr, talk to the fucking manager on duty. Like, what's going on? Yeah, this flight and everything. Okay, what's the flight number? Okay, perfect. All right, what's the flight number on his ticket? Flight number. All right, he's good. Like, why couldn't that have happened? Why was it just a sorry for your fucking luck bullshit?
Okay, so I get on a plane. It's a 3-hour flight. I'm supposed to get on at I think 1 o'clock, and I should be arriving, roughly after you get bags and all that stuff. I think I told the person picking me up like 4 o'clock, maybe 5. And so flight gets delayed several times. Mechanical issues with the plane that landed. So we finally get onto a plane. It's, I think, like 8 o'clock at night when we finally board the plane to go. We finally get to Orlando. I'm looking out the window. I generally go for window seats, and I watch, what part of the country we're in. I can tell we're in Orlando. We're just circling Orlando. Isn't
that the best?
Circling for an hour and a half. We're circling Orlando. And I don't know. I knew something was up, but I didn't know what. There was really bad storms, right? It was not the airline's fault at all.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Really horrific storms, and none of the runways were clear. So they fly all the way down to Fort Lauderdale.
Ugh.
Yeah. And they land in Fort Lauderdale, and so they're like, well, we'll get this figured out. We're not really sure what's going to happen yet. We don't know if we're going to get another flight. Just hang tight. So everybody hangs tight for about 2 more hours. Finally, they're like, okay, we got buses, and we're going to bus you up.
A what?
We're going to bus you to Orlando.
I paid for a plane ticket. You're going to bus me up. Okay.
We're going to get there at about, I can't remember, it was 5 or 6 in the morning. I was supposed to get there at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Ooh. If you want to watch a bunch of adults act like children, holy shit, no one could act like an adult. And because everybody was being petty and shitty, it took an hour to load onto the bus.
Because they were bitching and complaining.
Yeah, bitching. And, I need to be first. I need to be first. Finding excuses to try to cut the line. And it just made everything way slower. It took an hour for, I don't know how many, not that many people to get onto a bus.
Sure.
Luckily, I had this asshole over here at Cabal USA, was working an odd shift and got out of work right when I was getting back. So he was able to come pick me up. Otherwise, hopefully I can find a taxi at 5 a.m.
Yeah, man.
Dude, and it's funny because I can completely understand if somebody gets, upset at a situation that they can't control or they can't handle, and they get upset because, something was promised and the promise was taken away. I can understand that. In my situation, there was a lot of people literally
just not doing anything.
They were just upset, but I felt like me and only a handful of people understood. Okay, shit happens, whatever, that's fine. Just try to give me a clear answer so I can, because I've got people relying on me.
This isn't working because of this reason.
Yeah.
And this is a solution, but here's the roadblock.
Yeah.
And so this is what we're waiting on.
I just want a clear explanation. That's all I asked for.
It makes too much sense, guys.
But you see what I mean?
We work for the government. But fuck you.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying when I was outside of security?
United
there was no
has
clear
no
answer.
excuse. TSA, at least TSA, they're government employees. They can tell you go fuck yourself, and it's kind of what you expect. Someone working for a company, they can't explain that. Oh, I'm sorry we messed up, and we didn't update your old ticket to be able to scan, and we're working on the problem, but
No, they didn't even give me that. They said, "Oh, it should
Exactly.
work." Oh,
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There was no recognition of the problem, why it happened, how the solution is going to come about. Probably because the person that's working customer service had no fucking clue. They're probably like, I don't know.
Yeah, it just
Sucks to be you, bro. I got the midnight shift.
Yeah, it was just.
I'm not here because I love my job.
Yeah, it was really, really, absolutely aggravating to deal with that, and then TSA literally yelling at me like I'm about to fucking blow the place up or some shit. Like they literally, sir, you need to get online now. And like 5 or 6 agents came out of nowhere, like they're gonna jump me like a fucking
that was your
gang or
moment.
some shit.
That was your moment to shine. It's not like I got a fucking bomb.
Yeah, you would. That would have been the worst moment right there. They would have totally.
I am a sovereign citizen. I have the right to travel.
I have the right. You cannot interrupt my right to travel. Yo,
It's a disruption of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Did you sign up?
Have you seen these videos? Like there's this one video where this older gentleman was driving a red truck and it has signs all over it that he taped that says, "I am a sovereign citizen. I am traveling. You do not have the right to stop me while traveling." Something like that. He gets arrested, stands in front of the judge, and the judge just pretty much like laughs at him. Like, that's not how this works, buddy. Like, and he's like, "I am a sovereign citizen." Like, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people think that they can follow this.
Well, it's pretend world. I mean, if you just say you're part of pretend world, then everybody has to recognize you pretend world.
Dude,
I watched a judge because I actually go down this rabbit hole often. I showed Dave some clips earlier today, but there was a judge and it was about a particular guy, and the guy wouldn't admit to being the individual. He's like, "I'm here on behalf of that matter." So
he was just he did not admit it.
The judge was not having it. He was like, "Okay, that'll be $25,000," and then had the bailiff go over and arrest him immediately. Like, there was no more conversation. Just put him in handcuffs and drag him off. $25,000. Go fuck yourself.
Thug life moment right there. You should have seen the fucking sunglasses come out of nowhere. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, like it's like people they make up these things and then they try to go with it, and then they have.
I feel bad because it's kind of like I was thinking about it. It's like snake oil salesmen. It's like bad medical advice, to where they try to like here. The healthcare industry is trying to suppress this miracle cure-all because they want to protect the pharmaceutical company. Here's this greatest thing that's going to solve all your problems. It's so similar to that.
Yeah.
It's just about dumb. If you just use these magic words, you can't get tickets. You don't need driver's license. You don't have to register your vehicle. You don't need insurance. I
had somebody pull out this ID. It had something to do with taxes. And he pulled out this ID and he looked at me and he literally looks at me and he goes, "I don't have to pay taxes." And I said,
"Oh, what?"
Wesley Snipes thought that too.
Yeah. And I looked at him. No, I mean, like, okay, so I don't know if it's like taxes, meaning he doesn't pay taxes off of his salary. I'm talking about taxes like I don't have to pay sales tax.
Yeah, like I got a tax certificate because I'm not a U.S. citizen.
But it wasn't a certificate. It was an ID that says he was like some sort of religion. Some sort of like, it was an ID with his picture, birthday, and all that stuff. And it was like that he was part of either a religion or some sort of faith or some sort of following. And on the back of it, it said something about taxation or something like that. I don't know. It was the first time I've ever seen it in my life. And he shows it to me and he goes, "I don't have to pay tax." And I said, yeah, you do. And he was like, "No, I don't. Look." And I said, "The only people that don't have to pay taxes if you're purchasing something for your business and then you're going to pay it on the back end while through your business. And that's the only thing I can do, which means you have to have an FFL with it as well. Otherwise, I cannot accept that and you're going to be paying tax." And he was like, "No." And he shows me this ID. And I first time I've ever seen this in my life. It's like a green ID. And he wore one of those weird like Moroccan hats, the red ones, with the little tassel on top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can see it in like the movie Aladdin. He has that.
He has the red hat. It used to be popular with like
Moose Lodge.
Yes, that kind of deal.
Yeah, I got it. I'm with you. I'm tracking.
But I think it's like I think his ID said Moorish, or like more, like I don't know, something like that.
You
but
sure you weren't drunk?
Gives a fuck about.
Yeah. No, I was working. I don't.
Sure, you weren't drunk?
There's only one place where I'm working and I'm drinking, and that's right here. And I don't consider this work. This is just fucking fun.
Hey-o.
So I take the ID to the boss man. I said, "Yo, I don't understand this." And he was like, "Fuck no, he charged tax." And I get to this argument with this guy. I don't have to pay tax. And then I started realizing, after the whole situation dealt with, I'm talking to other people, and I was like, that's bullshit. There's actually people that think that they don't like, I'm not going to pay your tax, but you want to fucking live here. Like, right. And then I start going down that rabbit hole of like people that try to take advantage of the system They don't like our society. They will dog our society. They will talk shit about our society, but they want to live in our society. It makes no fucking sense to me at all. It's like, no, fuck your laws. I'm going to live here, though, because it's way better than where I used to live, but fuck your laws. It's like, come on. Like, really?
I understand people bitching about our civilization. You know, nothing will change for better or worse if you're not bitching. So I understand that. But
we have a system.
I get very defensive about the tax thing. I don't know why. Like, I'm not a tax collector, but like, fuck you. You need to contribute.
Yeah, everybody has to contribute. Yeah.
We're all part of a social contract. Like, I don't get much out of my taxes for a lot of things, but I still pay them because I know it's good for me, for everybody else to not be retarded, and for us to have roads.
Yeah, because if we didn't have taxing, right? No, I'm not saying I'm all for tax.
I love it.
I'm not saying I'm all for like, oh, we need to raise that. No. We just need to have enough to where our civilization is lasting for itself.
A standard conservative perspective of minimal necessary force.
Yes,
and that it applies to everything.
I'm okay with that, and I've always been. I mean, fuck, we it's something that didn't change.
The
it's
basics
we've always had.
of conservatism of we want freedom as much as it doesn't impede on other people's freedom.
Yeah.
So if you have a pig farm and you're spewing all the waste from the pig farm and now no one has good drinking water, that's not how freedom works.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Minimum necessary force, though. Not a bunch of bullshit certificates that you need from the government to wash hair or fucking do nails. I'm not generally for that.
Yeah,
that's
the whole
the world
ID.
we live in.
Yeah, like you have to have an ID and a license for everything. Like you want to walk on the sidewalk, you need a license. Oh, you want to walk in the street? There's another license for that. It's like, yeah, and it's getting annoying.
That's true too of the quote unquote police state. I don't buy into that too much, but I understand the frustration of like, listen, this is how it is now. You're required to have an ID on you.
Just more, yeah, but that's another way to tax.
It's
without taxing.
But listen, that's way less annoying to me than to say that you need to go to some stupid class and pay someone some amount of money to be able to do your job, whatever it is. You want to wash cars. You want to have a car wash. Well, it needs to be certified car wash.
Yeah,
you're like, there's the hair washing thing is legitimate. Like you can't wash strangers' hairs unless you get a certificate
cosmetology license or
hair cutting. Not wild on, but I guess I can kind of understand it. But painting nails and washing people's hair. Like, how bad can you ruin someone's hair with shampoo and water?
Or just paint somebody's nails with
right.
Well, I guess
you did a bad job. Oh, my God. How about you just don't ever go there again and don't give them any more money?
Well,
Problem solved.
I guess they don't want you to use, like, acid while they're painting their nails.
But, like, that's, again, like, the free market solves all those problems. It's just government wants to step in and make people's lives worse.
Yeah, well,
like suppressors.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Well, sorry, we're talking about
suppressors is a weird.
You know?
Suppressors is a weird conversation because it's kind of like bump stocks. There's a huge portion of people that are pro-gun that are anti-suppressmiths because they don't really know
or understand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lack of information.
So I went to a gunsmithing school. And I mean, obviously, it's hard to find anti-gun people in a gunsmithing school, right?
What?
Really?
So
no way.
I was staying late trying to work extra on a project, and one of the recruiters, she actually was the one that recruited me, was going through the school and giving a tour with prospective students. And the issue of suppressors came up. She didn't realize that they were legal at all. And then when someone told her, "Oh yeah, they are legal. It's just an NFA item. It's considered class 3, so you need to put in paperwork, and then you can have them." So, well, I don't like that. That's not good.
No, I don't like that at all.
Listen, she may not have been like the most avid shooter ever, but she was super pro gun. That's just another example of someone that can be really pro gun, but they just see suppressors. They think Hollywood. They think, that's just how you kill people.
It was depicted in Hollywood. It still is till today.
Yeah, totally.
If they want to assassinate somebody or kill somebody, they need a suppressor because it's going to make it quiet. No, world. Listen, world. This is the Nitro Panda here. Let me talk to you about something. Let me give you a little Nitro Panda moment. Suppressors are exactly what they are said right there in the name. They suppress the loudness. Actually, it's the decibels in it to where it's not piercing anymore. It just dies it down a little bit, but it does not make it quiet. It is still loud. You could still hear the fucking thing. It's not like Hollywood.
The mass majority of suppressors or silencers, because granted, to give the other side of the argument some room there, There's a lot of them that are called by manufacturers and were originally called silencers.
Silencers, yeah, like silencer
But
and stuff, yeah.
most of them, while used even with subsonic ammo, if you use them on a regular basis, they can still cause hearing damage to your ears.
Sure, yeah.
That's how little effective they are. Like if you're going to shoot one round off, then it's hearing safe. But if you're going to shoot rounds off for 30 minutes, it's no longer hearing safe. It's at that threshold to where it's still like a jackhammer going off, right? I mean, it's still going to hurt your ears over prolonged time. So a lot of people really don't recognize that. The only thing that I have seen that's literally movie quiet to where it's like pew 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 pew.
How does that go again?
Pew 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 pew.
That's
I had my hands out like an Italian when I had that.
It's a pew.
It's a pew.
Yes. Anyways, the 22 LR. That's the only thing I've seen that works to that level, and it has to be special ammo. It is not just your run-of-the-mill standard 22. It's 22 quiet or 22 calibre. If we're going to talk about some super cool shit that's primer only.
Ooh, yeah, primer only 22 calibre. No, well, going back before we go down to the tubes, the reason why. Go ahead.
One more thing to add to that is I'm talking about something that is basically as effective as an air rifle.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about the mass and the velocity that we're talking about within that, you're talking about making something movie quiet that is the equivalent of shooting a pellet gun.
Yeah, I do want to piggyback on the decibel levels. So as far as like hearing concerns, anything over 82 decibels, more than 3 hours, you can actually start getting permanent ear damage, hearing damage. And I think the quietest suppressor that's out there today is going to be in the 110 range, where it doesn't really affect you that much when you do 1 or 2 or 3 shots. But like you said earlier, if you're doing multiple shots of that at 110 and let's say 4 hours of shooting, you're going to mess up your hearing, especially when you hear those. What's the term after that? The click, after the bullet fucking transfers and going past the supersonic speed and all that shit.
The crack of
the crack.
Sure.
Yeah. So that actually can damage your ears. That's the thing.
Of course. Yeah.
So when it comes to the whole decibels, I did want to touch back on that. So, yeah, boom.
Yeah. Well, yes, but I'm actually, it's like
boring science. No one cares about that shit.
Nobody cares. Nobody listens to that. They just saw it in the movie. And, the movies are got to be real, so we don't want it. Movies are scary. That's another thing too, is that people's facts that they're getting are coming from movies and memes and videos. You see that as soon as they see it visually and audibly, it's it's the truth. Nobody knows what to believe anymore. Some people. Now, I'm not saying everybody.
People just like to hear what they like to hear.
Yeah.
So
the echo chamber theory that you had last time.
Science matters to liberals when science matters to liberals, but when it doesn't, they just kind of very easily ignore it. Same thing with conservatives. Everybody just well, I believe that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But when it doesn't curtail to you, then you just kind of ignore it. Yeah.
That.
Whatever. I mean, that's questionable. There's scientists that say otherwise. That's the answer if you don't want to believe that shit.
There are people that'll tell you no. But no, it's a yes. No. There's people out there. They're and they blame it on something without an actual reference. They're just those people. Those guys.
Yeah.
There's those guys over there. Some people say that. Well, who's these people? Some people.
That's a journalist's favorite thing, to be able to insert their own opinion on.
Oh, yeah.
Some people are reporting you as alt-right.
What?
You mean you are?
Yeah.
You solely are.
You mean you have no reference of me being alt-right at all, and so you just wanted to put that out there?
Mm-hmm.
Someone on Twitter said it once, so I'm just going to ask you about it. And now you have to defend your position like you're somehow racist.
I love when people throw that. It's the ultimate curveball that everybody uses in media. It's racism. It's they know that it's something that a lot of people are hurt. But I mean, granted, I'm not taking this lightly. It's a horrible thing, the whole racism thing.
I would love to have a real conversation about racism
on this. One day.
We're not ready for it.
How much time do we got? Come on, let's do this.
No time at all. But that's what they do is they were that's the first thing that people. Oh, he's racist. But
it's an easy way to shut you down.
What proof do you have?
Well,
they said he's racist, so he's racist.
Yeah, and you as a racist don't get to define if you're a racist or not. I get to define it about you. That's generally the claim.
Yeah, it's like, are you serious right now? Like, what proof? No proof. I don't need proof. You're just a racist because that guy said it, I said it, now you're a racist forever. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't
You
matter how
like
many
the
friends.
wall.
Yeah.
You like the wall, you're racist.
Yeah. That was actually said. I've seen videos where,
That's
if you support the wall.
That's so layered of how many things that they've just altered. Like they've worked on illegals, people being undocumented here. That's what they call them. Well, they're undocumented citizens.
No, they're illegals.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They're illegal citizens, not undocumented citizens.
And
They're not citizens
blur,
at all.
They've also wanted to blur the language between immigrants and illegal immigrants. That's a whole nother level to where they want to construe those two things together. So if you're anti-illegal immigrant, well, you're anti-immigrant.
Yeah.
That's
two
miles.
things.
They're miles apart, but they construe it so well with language. I mean, this is literally like textbook 1984 shit. They're doing it in practice. It's real.
They're doing it right now.
They
with the
mesh
amendments.
those two together, and so a liberal-minded person, God bless them, they hear I'm anti-immigrant and I'm anti-illegal immigrant as the same thing.
Yes.
So if you want to build a wall, it's because you hate people that look different than you, and therefore you're racist.
Yeah.
That's how they make those leaps. It's really sad. But
It is.
I mean, there's
We just need to start bitch slapping motherfuckers that do shit like that. Dude.
Just reach out.
Like you're fucking.
violence is not the answer.
No, listen.
Unless they're trying to
You
shoot
call
me.
me a fucking
or stab
racist?
me.
Get the fuck out of my face right now before I bitch slap the fuck out of you. Like, get the fuck
Have
out
you
of here.
have you ever been like legitimately called a racist ever in your
Fuck
life?
no.
So I have.
Because they see the folks
It's
that I hang
harder.
out with.
It's
How
hard.
the
Well,
fuck
it's
are you
harder.
gonna do
It's harder
that?
to do to brown people.
Thank you.
You're racist.
It happens, but it's harder.
Sorry,
So,
MP, that you're white.
Yeah, nobody could tell anything until I released the website on our bio, so nobody has no idea what I look like. No, I got called a racist. Now, my descent, I've my family was a bunch of travelers or a bunch of prostitutes or a bunch of traveling prostitutes, but I have a lot of different races. I have a lot of different races in my bloodline if you really want to get hammered down to it. But I'm mainly known as my last parents is I'm Filipino and white. Okay, that's like literally I have Italian, German, Irish, French, Eskimo,
Like
Indian,
most white people.
blah 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 blah.
Yep.
And then on my dad's side is Filipino, which actually derives from a race called Malay, and then Spaniard as well. So it's like we're Asian Spanish mix. That's what our race is. Okay. So I am tan. Okay, I am of a little bit darker complexion than white. I don't understand why pigment fucking matters because I don't give a fuck about the pigment. I give a fuck about your heart, your mind,
Because
and
you grew up
personality.
in the 90s.
Yeah, bro.
But I got called a racist. It was for my prior job. I'm not going to go ahead and call them out like this and everything like that. But the HR called me racist because I had an altercation with a young lady that was a supervisor at the time who took my position that I applied for. And that's why the animosity came, is because I was a little upset that they hired outside the company. And I interviewed for it like 3 times and just never got it. I don't understand why they wasted my time at all. So anyway, we bumped heads. And when she left, she wrote a letter saying that I was threatening to her and that I was, that I didn't like her because of her race. That's what she said in there. Not once did I ever mention that. I don't give a fuck, again, like I said. Well, come to find out, the only way that she felt like she could hurt me was by calling me a racist to the HR so HR can come down on me. She was hoping that they would. And she quit and said it was like, but she also said something about everybody that worked there too. It wasn't just me. Like other people were being racist for her too. She kept saying that. And she was of Arabic descent. And this is back in 2009, 2010, when, during the war times out there and everything like that. So she basically
Still not totally wrapped up there.
She basically used the fact that she was Arabic descent, that we hated her, so she had to leave the company. And that's what she wrote to HR. So HR comes out to me and he literally looks me in the eyes and he goes, so you're a Marine, right? And I said, yes, sir, I am. He goes, so you don't like those people? Just like that. I said, excuse me? He goes, well, I mean, you went out there and fought a war. You don't like Muslims. That's literally how he said it. And I said, are you calling me a racist right now? No, you're putting words in my mouth. No, I'm not fucking putting words in your mouth. That's exactly what the fuck you said. You said, because I'm a Marine, because I'm a United States Marine, I don't like Muslims. That's literally how you're saying it to me right now. No, I didn't say that at all. Now this is when he's backpedaling because he realized that I'm being defensive and I'm not just a fucking punk pussy. I'm gonna stay my ground.
Also, HR terms that you just out HR'd him.
Yeah.
I mean, you just said, oh, you're discriminating against me because I'm a U.S. Marine.
Yes.
So
yeah. So basically, he fucked up by saying that. Basically he was being a fucking prick.
I mean, that's HR.
Yeah.
But
So I looked at him and I said,
fuck all HR. Fuck all of you.
Yes.
I said, so you're telling me because I'm a United States Marine, a person that actually went out and fought for this fucking country, a person that was amongst a lot of great men and women who didn't even fucking make it back. We did all this shit just so you could sit there to fucking have a judgment on me like that. You're really calling me a fucking racist right now? Well, you can go fuck yourself. I quit. That's literally how I quit that job before I started the job I'm in right now.
Really? I
literally told him, fuck you. I was like, you can go fuck yourself. I took my shirt off and I threw it at him and I said, you're lucky I don't beat the fuck out of you right now. And I walked away. That's how I quit that job.
That's kind of awesome.
And
it would have been better if you beat the fuck out of him.
I had a little bit of bearing in myself not to do it because I knew if I did that, then I would be fucked.
Going to jail.
But at the time, I think I did exactly what I needed to do. I said my piece and I said exactly what needed to be said at that fucking moment because that piece of shit literally said to me, because you're a United States Marine,
right?
You don't.
I mean, there's plenty of people. There's plenty of people like, well, he's a murderer.
Yeah. Like, oh, he's a Marine. He's a murderer.
There's plenty of people that are real anti-veterans.
But that's a real thing that fucking happened. I'm not going to mention the company because I'm sure if this ever got fucking big and they heard this shit, that guy's going to get royally fucked. And I don't want to be like on his level.
Let me put it this way. I would say that there is about as many anti-veteran people as there are actual racists in this country.
Sure.
There are few and far between that are legitimate like that, but they do exist.
Well, some people just want to disagree because they like to disagree, or that they're used to it because they grew up with the disagreement. I don't like you, so I'm just going to say that, period. I don't like anything about you. If you like this, I don't like this.
Outside of my tribe. There's so many people that get into their groove, and you're the other, and so they just don't even think about it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's you know, like us, you know, we have a family amongst ourselves, you know, we trust each other. We do things for each other. We always help each other out. And that's how it is. And we, you know, we may not we also don't agree with everything, which is another good thing. I cannot stand being in one group of people that only agree with me. I like the disagreement because it gets me to think a little bit deeper. I don't want to be like we discussed before, an echo chamber.
Right.
Tell me why I'm wrong. If you're valid in your point, I will consider it and understand it.
And maybe I won't agree this second, but maybe I'll think about it for a few weeks and come back to you. And you know what? I think you might have a point on this.
There has been plenty of times where either one of us has backpedaled on an opinion or something that we have said. The other person went against us, and then we thought about it. We came back and you know what? You're fucking right, man. It's good. That's good for you.
Chase has changed my mind on, a lot of different stuff regarding, use of force, that kind of deal.
Yeah. Because he has a better understanding about it now that he's on the other side, you know, and he understands it from that perspective.
# hello from the other side.
Hello from the other side.
That's why you listen to our singing voices.
But so ladies and gentlemen, happy motherfucking New Year, 2019. We made it. And I only wish you the best. I hope that everybody's aspirations, dreams, and wishes come true. And those of you who have made a New Year's resolution for the 187th time, good luck. I hope it does work out for you. But we all know there's a lot of people that just like to say it because they want to be part of the group. But anyways,
fuck that shit.
I don't make New Year's resolutions.
I wish everybody luck on their goals, but just recognize you got to work your ass off for it. Otherwise, it won't happen. No one's gonna hand you shit.
Yes.
Tell yourself that every day.
Well said.
Just tell yourself that every day. Look in the fucking mirror. Think about what you want to do, and say, "Get to it, bitch."
You shouldn't wait for January 1st, the new year.
That's every
to fucking start
day.
Something. You should be that every day. Be fucking hungry. Go for your goals. Never take no for an answer. And if it has to be a definite no, move on to another fucking thing. Just don't stop and stay hungry. Keep eating, and that's how you move forward. And that's how each and every one of us are going to move forward. So I wish everybody the best of luck. Let me go and plug everybody's Instagram. I am the Nitro Panda. You can find me on all platforms at the Nitro Panda. And then I also have Cabal over here. You can search him on Instagram at Cabal USA. You can search for him on all platforms on there. And of course, I've got DHuck_. You can look him up. I actually remember that this time. Isn't that fucking impressive? I fucking remember this weird shit.
Yes.
And we are the Covert Standard. Now, one other thing too that I wanted to tell you about, ladies and gentlemen, and I say this on every single show. Make sure you guys go check out cabalusa.co. That's co, not com. So cabalusa.co for all of the sweetest gear and apparel out there on the market right now. And guess what? We were just informed on the last podcast that if you go on there and type in Covert Standard for the promo code, you will get 10% off on all of the sweet gear and apparel located on the website. So make sure you go to cabalusa.co, type in the Covert Standard as you were at Covert Standard. There's no the in front of it. I keep doing that. So go on there,
Yeah.
promo code Covert Standard, and check out that website. And like I said again, from us to you, Happy New Year, and good night.
Good luck.